All right, we're back here at Cooper Creek Square, downtown Winter Park. 20 shops and restaurants. It's your one-stop shop. Check it out. Sunshine and great happy hours. Right now, I'm going to be chatting with Sarah Wieck, our trail and hiking guru. So, Sarah, you're here to talk about a lot about hiking.
Right, I have a lot of gear because I'm kind of a gear nut. But
hey, real quick, I mentioned happy hours. What's your favorite happy hour in town? And I know you live in.
I live in
a little ways away.
I live in Hot Sulphur Springs. It's still Grand County.
But you can always have happy hour and camp in Winter Park because there is camping in town, which is incredible.
Right.
Alone. So.
My favorite happy hour is probably, well, it depends. If you're on a budget, since I live in Hot Sulphur Springs, I'll go to the PI.
Partial in, man.
Right?
It's one of the local important stops. What's the Barking Dog?
Oh, that used to exist in Hot Sulphur Springs, but it doesn't. So
the glory hole is still there, though, right?
It is still
just
there.
Checking to
they
make
don't
sure,
have that's just mainly a breakfast place.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No cocktails.
No.
Okay, BYO bloody, but that's okay.
Right.
So hiking, you're doing trails.
Yeah.
All sorts of hiking.
You know, I've only lived here for 2 years, but I've hiked quite a few trails in the area. And the great thing I like about hiking is this coming from a person that has a bunch of gear, but you don't really need a lot of gear to do it.
QVC, are you like a junkie shopper, or is this real gear?
This isn't stuff you're going to find.
This is real gear. Okay,
yeah.
Now, we had Keith Sanders on earlier. He said there's 1,000 mountain biking trails in our county. And some of these mountain biking trails are hiking trails, but the really cool thing is most of your hiking trails we'll talk about here aren't biking trails. I mean, there's so many trails here. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And some of them, like, cross over. You can bike on them, too, but a lot of the times they're, just hiking specific, and you wouldn't want to ride.
There's sections you wouldn't be riding up.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to. It wouldn't be anything enjoyable. But the one book that I always refer to is this Hiking Grand County, Colorado, and it has a ton of hikes in it.
And they're up to third edition now, so I think it's they update it every 3 or 4 years or something. So it's always pretty up to date on driving directions, and it's an incredible book. Right,
and they go from everywhere from multi-day hikes to just short, half-mile to mile hikes.
Do they put time estimates too? So if you say we got 3 hours on Friday morning, what hikes can we do? And you can page through and
exactly, yeah. And I also brought this book too. It's the Rocky Mountain National Park book, and this has basically every hike that is in Rocky Mountain National Park. And the great thing about this one is that it even has stuff that isn't really marked on the regular trail map. It'll tell you like directions to get to kind of secret spots.
That's awesome.
And if you have a dog, you can't really hike with it in the park.
No dogs in the national park.
Right.
Unless they're in your car
that's why, you have two options.
Now, this one I think you can get. I've seen it at coffee shops, I've seen it at bike shops, I've seen it all over town.
Yeah, and like I said, it's kind of nice because it has a little bit of everything. Half-mile hikes and then like the multi-day hikes too.
Well, there's a lot of great destination hikes in that book, like whether it's a lake, some favorite hikes like that, peaks, local peaks. We've got, I don't know, what do they go up to, about 13,000 something for a Perry Peak over here?
Exactly. And one of my favorite things to do is to hike to a lake, not only because you don't have to carry, you don't have to carry as much water if you're going to spend the night. And, then you'll have to have a water filter, which is, you can get one fairly cheap.
You're not cameling up 3 gallons of water.
Exactly. And you can like shower, wash your dishes and stuff like that. You don't have to pack in a bunch of water.
And right, exactly. And so you can also, do you ever pack in a beer or two with you?
Of course. I usually bring bourbon or whiskey. More bang for your buck.
And it's cold on some of your camping things. A little more facts. If you're sipping a little neat whiskey, no ice, no water, you don't have to pee as much throughout the night. And when it's 25 degrees outside of your tent, I don't want to get out of my tent, so I want to sleep until sunrise.
Right, and a lot of the hikes you do end up, at a higher elevation, so you're going to want to bring some warm clothes, even in the middle of the summer. It's still at night at 11,000 feet, it gets pretty chilly.
It'll be frost. So,
right.
Yep, in your tent. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then maybe we'll talk about a favorite hike of yours, both short and long, and maybe some of the things you used to take with you to get through that hike. So, all right, with that, we'll be back with Sarah Wieck in a moment.